And a good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Hurricane Field. This evening's Peach Belt Conference Women's Soccer matchup featuring the visiting Patriots from Francis Marion University, taking on your Georgia Southwestern State University Lady Hurricanes. At this time, let's introduce you to the starting 11 for both schools. First, let's meet the Patriots from Francis Marion. Number 0, Rachel Hennenkamp. Number 3, Megan Mizuraka. Number 7, Jessica Garnett. Number 10, Daly McEwen. Number 11, Michaela Chavis. Number 12, Brooke Kennedy. Number 13, Rihanna Orello. Number 14, Sierra Cartano. Number 16, Emma Hall. Number 19 is Sarah Mall. And number 21, Abigail Williams. Head coach of the Patriots in her third season is Lindsay Morgan. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting 11 for your GSW Lady Hurricanes. 5'3" senior from Americus, Georgia's number 9, Ella Hawkins. 5'7" freshman from Alpharetta, Georgia, number 1, Hannah Marone. A 5'1" junior from Hiram, Georgia, number 4, Michelle Gustafson. 5'1" freshman from Sewanee, Georgia's number 5, Alicia Barr. 5'6" senior from Columbus, Georgia, number 6, Rachel Cochran. A 5'6" junior from Decatur, Georgia, number 8, Allison Rugel. 5'3" sophomore from Marietta, Georgia, number 11, Layla Ahmed. A 5'5" freshman from Sao Paulo, Brazil, number 15, Eduardo Just. A freshman from Warner Robins, Georgia, is number 16, Jasmine Westbrook. 5'11" freshman from Jacksonville, Florida, number 17, Ashlyn Baker. And a 5'8" junior from Leesburg, Georgia, number 26, Josie Nix. Head coach of the Lady Canes in his second season is Enrique Rodriguez. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would ask that you please rise. Please rise and join both schools here this evening as we honor America through the playing of our national anthem. Moments away from kickoff of this one. Peach Belt Conference Women's Soccer action coming at you. A couple of quick announcements for those of you who may be new to the facility. The restrooms are located back across the street. Please take care when crossing that busy road. They don't like to slow down, unfortunately. But the restrooms are the white doors facing the bleachers here at the soccer field. Again, restroom facilities are located back across the street. We'll also be coming around momentarily. Look for Bo. He'll have the white t-shirt on. GSW Tennis, he's handing out game programs, roster sheets, stats on both teams so that you can follow all the action on the pitch here this evening. Again, those game programs will be coming around shortly after kickoff. They are free, and make sure you grab one if you've got friends or family that couldn't make the trip to Americas, but they'd like to follow the action wherever they may be. Have them go to our website, gswcanes.com. gswcanes.com. If they're on a mobile device, there'll be a calendar in the upper right-hand corner. Otherwise, scroll down on a desktop to today's schedule, and there will be links for live stats as well as streaming video on our YouTube station, the hub of the Surge Sports Network. That's GSW Athletics on YouTube. But again, those links are on our website. You'll find those links on the Francis Marion Athletic webpage as well as the Peach Belt Conference. Again, live video as well as live stats available for tonight's matchup. Enjoy the game. We'll see you at the halftime break.
And with that, we are underway here from America's Georgia Hurricane Field. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Giving us a few minutes of your time. Peach Belt Conference action tonight featured on the Surge Sports Network. You found us right here on YouTube at GSW Athletics. Francis Marion University, the Patriots roll into town to visit, taking on your Georgia Southwestern State University Lady Hurricanes. Peach Belt Conference action. Kind of a late afternoon, early evening start, 5:30 our kickoff time. We're again glad you could join us. This match real important. Well, they're all important, but this one maybe a little bit more so for both schools, both looking to get their first Peach Belt Conference win of the season. Something's got to give, and somebody's going to go home with a 1 in the win column in conference play tonight. Overall, coming into this one, it's again very similar across the way. Francis Marion, a 2-5 record overall. They're 0-1 in Peach Belt, 0-3 in Peach Belt Conference action. Georgia Southwestern is 2-6, so one extra loss overall for the Lady Hurricanes. They are 0-3 in PBC play as well. We'll run down the starting 11 for both schools here in just a moment as the action rolls on. Again, probably figured it out already, whatever team you're cheering for, but Francis Marion in their road Navy kits, a little white bar across. They've got something brewing here. 13 with the shot. Get it out of there. And the follow is in, and quickly Francis Marion has struck. Coming out on fire, so he catches the rebound, puts it back in, and it looks like that goal was going to be scored quickly tonight by number 13. That'll be Rihanna Orello, freshman, coming through and putting the Patriots on the board with a quick strike. We're not even 2 minutes into tonight's action. Francis Marion goal scored by number 13, Rihanna Orello. Didn't even get a chance to introduce you to Rihanna. A quick strike there from Francis Marion on the rebound. A nice first stop by the Georgia Southwestern freshman keeper, Hannah Marone, but just wide open space on the follow through. The clearance not there on the part of the defender, and here come Francis Marion again. Francis Marion again with the strike there in their Navy kits, primarily Navy. A little white trim, red numerals, white trim on that. Navy socks, Georgia Southwestern sporting their home Adidas kits. The white unis with the collegiate gold sleeves, Navy shorts, and the white socks with Navy trim. That's your matchup tonight. Francis Marion on the march again. Here come the Patriots. This one will get deflected out and should be a corner kick coming up for the ladies in blue. So a corner kick down in the corner, or a far corner, obviously corner, far corner for the Patriots here. Hands up, kicks away. Good height. Will get it well over the height of the crossbar. Headed away by GSW. Follow-up deflected out. And just like that, another corner kick coming up for the Patriots. So that goal for Orello would be her first. And how about that? First collegiate goal for Rihanna Orello out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. And for Frances Marion, she'll join a slew of 4 other ladies now that have 1 goal this season. But by far the team leader is number 10, so keep an eye on 10 for Frances Marion. Number 10, I grabbed the wrong program, there we go, is Daly McEwen. Daly has 6 goals this season. A couple of game winners to her credit. So we've mentioned a couple of the Frances Marion starting 11 for head coach Lindsay Morgan in her 3rd season. This one crossed, squirts through and is rolling. I think they're going to catch it before it goes out as that ball's losing steam. Here we go. Cochran will boot it away. And the Patriots will have to reset. Starting 11 for Frances Marion will go something like this. The goalkeeper is also a freshman from Wake Forest, North Carolina. It's Rachel Hennenkamp. She just boots the ball away there in her red keeper jersey. Joining Hennenkamp on the field, number 3, sophomore Megan Mizuraka. Junior, number 7, Jessica Garnett. I mentioned Miss McEwen. Daly McEwen, number 10, a sophomore from Collinsville, Illinois. Freshman number 11, Michaela Chavis. Sophomore number 12, Brooke Kennedy. Again, Orello, the one that scored the goal, the freshman, number 13. Also on the pitch, junior number 14, Sierra Cartano. Sophomore number 16, Emma Hall. Sophomore number 19, Sarah Mall. And freshman number 21, Abigail Williams. Again, Lindsay Morgan, the head coach in her 3rd season. There was one change. So for those of you that were tuned in earlier for the starting lineups, you saw the graphic for the starting 11. There was one tweak to that as Shannon Walsh did not start. A late scratch in the Lady Hurricanes lineup. She was replaced by freshman number 16, Jasmine Westbrook. But for those of you that did tune in after kickoff, we'll, you know what the heck, we'll put the graphic back up here in just a moment. It'll be the Georgia Southwestern starters slide as the next opportunity presents itself. We'll just wait a moment till there's a little bit slower action. Yeah, we'll go ahead. Let's take a look at the starting 11 for head coach Enrique Rodriguez. Again, Hannah Maroney gets the call in goal. She'll be joined on the defensive line by Rachel Cochran. Shannon, now Walsh was a scratch. That's going to be, as I mentioned, Jasmine Westbrook. Michelle Gustafson, Josie Nix also on the field. Alicia Barr, Allison Rugel, Layla Ahmed, Ashlyn Baker, and then up front for the Lady Canes, Ella Hawkins, and Eduarda Just. So those are your starting 11 for the Lady Hurricanes. They've got to get some work up front. The possession has been primarily at the feet of Frances Marion here in the early going. Is everything okay? That's okay. Or a little and tighter on a goal or a big play. You're cool. We're good. We're good. The folks at home are hopefully enjoying the early stream here. Let's see. There's and with all the cloud cover, it's gotten a little bit darker. Let's see if we can brighten things up a little bit for you on your screen, as it's pretty heavy clouds. There's a little bit of a peak of blue skies kind of just over your camera shot there in the far corner of the sky, but otherwise behind us and circling around us, it's a heavy cloud cover, some a little bit on the darker side, so hopefully no inclement weather. We don't need any lightning delays. Let's hope Mother Nature will cooperate in this one. Moving into the box, Francis Marion. This one will get flicked out. We're going to go. You can if you can. You can move the camera around. It's cool. It's okay. Lady Hurricanes back up the middle. Nix a little too hard off her foot, and it'll roll back to the keeper. Now this is one to get in front of. It's going to, Studa stays down, holding her ankle a little bit, or her heel. I think maybe her shoe is just slipping off. Nothing serious, thankfully. Lady Hurricanes now with a little movement, tries to leave it. This one is punched to the corner. Will definitely stay in play. Easy run down for the defense. Francis Marion up the line, and now a throw in coming up forward with the Lady Hurricanes. And now, of course, the sun pops back out. A little green space for Ella to go down the, it's Hawkins on the far side. She'll look to bring it into the middle, but now Frances Marion has had a chance to drop back. Low cross, bounces past the intended target. This kick a high moon ball that's going to stay well to the right of the pipe, and an easy rundown, keeping it in play. Frances Marion. Don't forget, fans, if you've got friends or family watching, or for yourself, if you'd like to have a little bit of the number crunching in front of you, track your favorite players, see how the stats, see how they're doing, the minutes they're playing, what's happening in this one. As far as a stat comparison, we've got that live stats broadcast going as well. You can find the link back on our website, gswcanes.com, gswcanes.com. Live stat, good ball through. Gustafson does a nice job of holding on the march again. Right there was a familiar number, and number 13, Orello. GSWCanes.com is the website, GSWCanes.com, live stats link. If you're on a mobile device, there'll be a calendar up in the top right corner. You can click on that. Otherwise, on a desktop, just scroll down to today's scoreboard, and you'll see the live stats link there. Those live stats links also available on the Frances Marion Athletic website. Long kick, this one right at the goal, and off the mark. First substitution of the match will come from the Patriots. Number 5 checks in for FMU. Faith Allen will announce her for the crowd in attendance. Checking in for Frances Marion is number 5, Faith Allen. Freshman for the Patriots from Walterboro, South Carolina. There you go. But again, the live stats and the streaming video links, Frances Marion Athletic webpage, Peach Belt Conference, or you can, again, find it on gswcanes.com. It's well, you saw the starting 11 introductions. Why don't we'll introduce you to a few of the players that hopefully can make an impact in this one at the next opportunity. Well, speaking of which, she's picking up the ball right now. Let's introduce you to the freshman goalkeeper for the Lady Hurricanes. That's, number 1, Hannah Marone. You'll see a little bit of information on Hannah on the screen there. Goals against average 3.63 so far this season. That 7-1 loss to North Georgia kind of put a damper on those numbers, so that's kind of inflated that a good bit. She'll be over 550 minutes between the pipes. She's got a .639 save percentage. She's been called on to make 39 saves already this season. Again, and that's coming in 500, and now she's well over 550 minutes between the pipes. She's got 6 now, making her 7th start of the season. Victoria Moore also on the is available. Victoria has played in 3 matches, has 2 starts, and I'm sure is willing and able and ready to come in if needed. But we hope not. Hannah did a heck of a job. I know the score isn't indicative of it with a 7-1 loss, but she was getting a barrage of shots coming at her from the 23rd ranked Nighthawks back in the middle of the week on Wednesday, and really made some outstanding saves, but of course was under constant pressure, and the Nighthawks showed why they are, in fact, ranked 23rd. They've been a one-sided affair in that series. Double digits, 2 out of 3 last years they've allowed in goals to North Georgia. This one a 7-1 loss. In fact, it was 2-1 early on and then 5 unanswered by North Georgia put it away. But trailing 1-0, the offensive side of things will have to get going for the Lady Hurricanes as well. And you can hear head coach Enrique Rodriguez talking about Ella Hawkins, screaming out her name on the far side, number 9. So why don't we take a chance to show you Ella, who you can't quite see so far away on your camera shot. Leads the Lady Canes with 4 goals this season. She's now going to eclipse 600 minutes. She's averaging 2 shots a game. And again, her 4 goals this season leads the Lady Hurricanes. This a one-hopper to the keeper. Well, a shot on goal for the Lady Hurricanes. That was, I believe I heard him say Elisa, so that was probably Barr with the shot. Well, I think that might have been just Duda, 15 here on the near side. Oof, that ball. Down there in the far corner, there'll be another sub coming in, but you see right in front of the referee down in the far corner. She was in that exchange as Michelle Gustafson. We'll bring up Michelle's stats coming up this season, but first let's announce the new player for Francis, Marion, who's checking in. Checking in for Francis Marion, number 6, Carly Gauthier. Junior from Tampa, Florida. So a throw in down there. So Michelle Gustafson, she plays back. She does have a goal this season, however. So Michelle, as I mentioned, is a junior. East Paulding High School product, number 4. There she is. She's got a goal. She has been anchoring that defense, her and Rugel, 705 minutes. So again, back there on the defensive side, not called upon to score, but Michelle does have 1 goal this season. But again, one of the team leaders in minutes played. She does not come out very often. This could be trouble. There's Michelle right there. She'll try to use her body to get it out of the way. Ooh, that could have been trouble as Marion was unable to pick it up. Corner kick coming up for the Patriots as they approach 23 minutes remaining in the first half of action. Looks like it'll be the new player who had just checked in. Miss Carly's going to head down and take the corner kick. The wind blowing, picking up a little bit up here in the booth. You can see the flag stick kind of blowing right towards Carly as we speak. Now she'll get this one up and try to curl it towards the goal. That one does somehow fall in, but it's GSW who gets the first boot on it to kick it away. Another throw-in coming from Francis Marion. Another player to keep an eye on is number 8, Allison Rugel. Rugel has logged a good bit of minutes as well, right there with Michelle, kind of in the middle of the field. She'll be called upon again. Allison Rugel, the junior from Decatur, Georgia. Got a goal and an assist this season. As you can see, she's right up there with Gustafson, approaching 700 minutes. She leads the team with shot attempts per match at 2.6. But she's been fairly quiet here in the early going of this one. Hopefully pick things up a little bit. Another corner kick for the Patriots to the middle of the 18. Ball bounces around. Shot deflected. Going to get a second shot. Marion in the right spot to catch that knee-high line shot. This kick just over the midfield stripe as the wind pushing that one down. One player that I didn't have the opportunity to introduce you to due to an injury is a freshman who ranks 2nd on the team, Emily Collum. She is out of action today, still recovering from a concussion she sustained last weekend. So hopefully she'll be back for the rest of the season, get through this weekend, and be cleared after her week of rest. But Collum has 2 goals and an assist. She started 4 matches, appeared in 7 for the Lady Hurricanes. And a little bit of an offensive spark as a freshman. She's come in and kind of taken some of the load off of Ella to be the lone scoring force for Georgia Southwestern, and then some of the other ladies have chipped in as well, as I mentioned, and you've met them here along the way. This one off of Dudout's throw in coming up. It looks like we'll have a substitution. Number 4 for Francis Marion is checking in. Kylie Barr. Checking in for Francis Marion is number 4, Kylie Barr. So Barr checks in. Coming out of the match will be Abigail Williams. Getting a breather. Nice header there as the ball's bouncing around, staying off the turf, and now it'll get to the feet of Elisa Barr. She has to turn here. The feed from Nix a little off the mark. Francis Marion tries to counter, but unable to do so. Under 20 minutes now to go in the first half. An early strike from Francis Marion, less than 2 minutes into the match. If you're just joining us, is the scoring in this one. Since then, it's kind of been a back and forth affair. Francis Marion had a good spell of the opening, probably third of the half, where the ball was on their possession, and now GSW has seemed to creep it over onto their side a little bit more in the latter half of the opening session here. Checking into the match for the Lady Hurricanes is number 10, Shelby Mills. So Shelby Mills, a senior from Noonan, Georgia, getting some action. Good to see her back. I know she sat out the North Georgia match with an injury, nursing an injury as well. So good to have her back on the pitch to relieve Josie Nix. It looks like the one that come out. Nice. Long shot, one hopper. Marone scoops it up. Well, when we have our next break in the action, remember there's going to be a graphic there. I mean, you can still go up, down, side, side. Just remember that little scoreboard graphic is on there for the folks at home. So we'll try to keep the action a little bit farther down on your screen. Long shot, going to be tough. Pass Marone off the fingertips and inside the right pipe. That goal is scored by number 4, Kylie Barr. You could see it. It was coming. It was as if it was in slow motion. It looked like it was going to have enough just to get out past the outstretched arm of Marone, and it just had to sit and wait for it to happen, and it did. She just could not quite get enough of a mid on it. Francis Marion goal scored by number 4, Kylie Barr. So for Barr, that is her first goal of the season. So a couple of ladies getting on the board for the first year, for the first time this season. Both goals, first-time goals. Let's see. Barr's another freshman, so this has been a coming-out party for them. A couple of freshmen have gotten their first collegiate goals. Congratulations to the ladies from the Patriots. Now in the Francis Marion record books as they get their first collegiate score. 2-0 now in favor of the visitors. Now, it hasn't played out that way, but at the next opportunity we knew you score, excuse me, win-loss wise. The team's somewhat similar. Both still looking for their first win in Peach Belt play. Francis Marion now with a big early lead. It's going to be a big hole for the Lady Canes to dig out of. Francis Marion been very efficient when they get it on goal. It seems to, they make it count. They've picked their opportunities well and converted. But we'll show a quick comparison of the team stats at the next opportunity when we have somewhat of a break in the action to head-to-head. How have these two teams fared? Shot inside the goal and score! Go Lady Hurricanes! They've cut the lead in half. Georgia's Southwestern goal scored by number 9, Ella Hawkins. So that'll get a little bit of a cheer from the home crowd. Hawkins with her 5th goal of the season now, and the Lady Hurricanes back in this one. Just a goal down here with plenty of match time to play. Hawkins takes the opportunity and skirts that one just inside the left pipe. Back on the attack. Here's Hawkins again. Will she be able to control it and turn? And now she'll have to get through 2 defenders as Francis Marion regroups and drops back, kicks it away. Well, if you've been on our Twitter page since Wednesday night, late Wednesday night, and you saw our kind of video highlight from that Francis Marion match, the North Georgia match, you'll notice Hawkins scored the lone goal in that one. And it looked much more like the last Francis Marion goal, except it had a lot more height on it. It was from a similar location on the field, and it was a big moon ball that just got up high and dropped down just inside the crossbar, but that one hers was more in the middle as opposed to Barr, who had found hers inside the right post. But very similar type looking setup. This one a little different today. She takes the wind out of play and she boots the worm burner. That one stayed right along the turf, hardly got off the ground and scooted inside the left post. Again, 2-1 the score now. Another opportunity for Francis Marion, a big edge in the corner kick department here in the first half as we approach 14 minutes until the break. Now is probably a good time to show up that stat comparison. As I mentioned, these two teams, record-wise, very similar. Here's how they look on paper when it comes to stats. Goals per game, both just scoring right around 1 goal. Goals allowed, again, both teams similar, up in the 3 range. Shots per game, similar, 11-1 edge for GSW. But again, Francis Marion's been a little more efficient. You can take that one down. We'll see what happens on this exchange. Corner kicks, close, but favored the Patriots. But it's the saves that Marion and company have been asked to make, 60 this season as opposed to 38 by the keeper from FMU, whomever that may be. I don't know if they've switched. Let's see if they've given some action to anybody else this season or if it's been straight. Francis Marion keeper situation. Hennenkamp has played 606 of close to 690 minutes. Janie Gordon, 23 minutes between the pipes for Francis Marion. So pretty much a one-woman show so far this season. And Hennenkamp has allowed 21 goals this campaign. And she'll kick it right off of her, and here the Lady Hurricanes will work it for a corner kick. And one of my sheets blew away. I'm going to step away from the microphone for just a moment as the Lady Canes set up, and it looks like it'll be Shelby Mills to take the kick for GSW. Nice kick by Mills. That one got, to where you needed it to go. It got to the far post, had it at the foot of a Hurricane player, just missing the header. Was a GSW player inside the 6-yard box, but once it got to the foot, there was nothing she could do. Kind of snuck up on her as it got through all that traffic. Back on the play. This one will be headed away. Here's Gustafson following it up. And the Patriots with a substitution at this time. It'll be number 20 coming into the match for FMU. Checking in for Francis Marion, number 20, Kylie McElroy. McElroy, a sophomore, Holly Springs, North Carolina. Hawkins again. Can she get the step? Not quite. Good play back to the keep. That one will stay in. Substitution for Francis Marion is going to be number 22, Jackie D'Amico. Francis Marion, substitution number 22, Jackie D'Amico. That's not good. Thunder rumbling down coming in my right ear, towards just behind the GSW, or behind the goal. Francis Marion today on the visitors bench is on the right-hand side of your screen here on the near side of the field. And you'll hear Coach Rodriguez and the Lady Hurricanes coming from the left side of the facility here. And unfortunately, there it is. Stoppage of play. We've got a lightning delay. Well, we heard the rumblings, and there it is with inside the 8-mile mark with 8:17, the official time left on the game clock. We'll adjust, if we need to, we'll adjust that on our screen. But it is a lightning delay, folks. We're going to keep it here. There won't be a whole lot to say. We're not going to talk your ear off. We'll probably just throw up a graphic or two and just kind of let you sit and wait. But what I would encourage you to do is just, if you have a way to set a timer or notify yourself that it will be 30 minutes from right now before play would resume. So 30 minutes, come on back in 30. For those of you that just want to leave it up on your screen, have the volume ready, and when I come back on the air, we'll be good to go. But I'm going to announce it for the folks in attendance. We'll do a couple of quick maybe stat things we can chat about, but then we'll leave it be and just enjoy the silence for a few minutes. Many of you might welcome that until we get back. So real quick for the folks in attendance, Ladies and gentlemen, a lightning delay has been issued. A lightning delay. We encourage you to take shelter, please. Find a spot to hang out. Perhaps metal bleachers, not the best choice. But there has been lightning in the area within our required 8-mile radius. So at this time, whether it's your car, whether it's the Storm Dome, it'd be a long time to go to the restroom, but the restroom break is across, the building is across the street. But just know that 30 minutes, now we're probably a few minutes under 30 minutes, but roughly 25 minutes from now, the teams, if we get the all clear, that's the earliest that they could resume play. So set your phone timer, set your watch, set your clock, and just know that about 25 minutes from now, you'd be able to come back if we get the all clear and there is no more threat of lightning. We're sorry for the delay. Mother Nature not cooperating, but again, a lightning delay has been issued. And we'll catch up with you again soon. We'll try to tweet it out as well. So if you're a Twitter user, even if you're not, you don't have to have an account. But if you do twitter.com/GSW Athletics, you can have access to the feed that's coming from our account. And we'll try to tweet out when we know as well a specific start time so that if you have that on your phone, you could just keep refreshing and check it out. And that'll give you an indication of if there's been any additional delays or if we'll be ready to play. So GSW Athletics, if you are a Twitter user, GSW Athletics is where you can find our account. But again, you don't have to have Twitter. You just would do twitter.com/GSW Athletics. And that's how you could get access to our stream and our wall where we post all of our wonderful information. Well, like again, it probably doesn't really pay to go off the air, folks, so that you are with us. What wonderful slides have we not looked at? We haven't looked at the Peach Belt Conference standings. How about that, Shabrika? Let's take a look at the Peach Belt Conference standings for those that are curious. I mentioned both teams are 0-3. We are under a lightning delay. There's a look. Oop, another rumbling, so it's probably not a good sign that we won't have about 30 minutes from the last reported strike, if you will. But there's a look at the Peach Belt Conference standings coming into play today. Actually, Georgia College played last night, probably had a win against Albany State. I didn't confirm that, but that would have been prior. This slide was made prior to that, so they're probably 8-1-1 overall. But your overall standings are the three columns on the left, win, draw, loss. And then, of course, the three columns on the right is how things have fared and shook out in Peach Belt Conference play. Columbus and North Georgia are going to be seem to be on a crash course for deciding the regular season championship. But there's a few other programs that like to throw their hat in the mix, including Flagler, those Bobcats from Georgia College. Lander, Young Harris has been there, and UNC Pembroke has given both of those top dogs fits in the past. UNC Pembroke just waiting. They had the issues, obviously, with the hurricane and the weather. And so they've been having to cancel matches, and they have not had a chance to get their Peach Belt Conference season underway. Francis Marion, GSW, there they are, 0-3 in conference play, 2 wins apiece in overall this season. And that's kind of a breakdown of where we stand. So the top 8 got to get in for the conference tournament, so some work to do. GSW still has matches with Aiken and Pembroke. Their Peach Belt Conference matches for GSW have been against Clayton State, North Georgia, and Georgia College. So that's a look at the Peach Belt Conference standings. I don't think I've missed anything else. What else we got on there that we can show the folks at home since we put it all together? We looked at this. We looked at the standings, the stat comparison. We could put that up again for you one more time, that stat comparison. If you didn't see on paper how these two teams look against each other, again, just joining us, we're under a lightning delay. No rain at the moment, but lightning in the area. Again, those stats very even from head to toe, top to bottom, rather. Both about a goal a game. Patriots already now will improve that number a little bit with their 2 goals today. Shots similar in quantity. GSW with a slight edge. Shot percentage a little more accurate, favoring the Patriots. But the shots on goal side, flip it back to GSW. Again, the kind of the glaring difference with the largest gap, and that would be the saves category, where Hannah Marion and the Lady Hurricanes have been called upon to make a lot more saves so far than the Patriots. 60-38, the difference in that category when you compare opponent saves. GSW has forced their opponents to make a few extra saves this season than Francis Marion, but that's a look at the head-to-head matchup, which you would expect based on the very similar records, and this one has been tight so far with a 2-1 score. I think we've got one more we can show you, and that again will be what's on tap for the Lady Canes coming out of tonight's matchup against Francis Marion. I'm sure the Lady Patriots are real thrilled that they have a delay that's going to hold up their trip getting back to Florence, South Carolina. Is that one working? That one? Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for GSW. So what's on tap for the Lady Hurricanes after tonight? Well, they've got a first-time meeting with Shaw University. That'll actually be the only afternoon home game of the season. This is, if you haven't tuned in before, GSW first season under the lights. We've got brand new lights. First time in program history that we've been able to play night matches. What a relief. Today a little bit earlier than I think we won. Now we may have to cut the lights on due to the weather, but Shaw is the only afternoon game so that we could get the Bears on the schedule. It's a men's and women's doubleheader. Again, something that now as of this season is rare because the Peach Belt has gone to separate games for the men's and women's schedule. They don't necessarily play the same teams on the same days around the same time. But Shaw will be a home doubleheader in the afternoon. 1 o'clock the start time for the women against Shaw. The men will follow at 3:30. That's this coming Wednesday, again, afternoon affair. Then a couple of Peach Belt Conference road matches, and then it's Saturdays moving forward, including that October 13th tilt with UNC Pembroke. That's a 7 o'clock match. The Lady Hurricanes, the early match that day, UNC Pembroke. That could be one of those where the men aren't playing that day. 7 o'clock is your start time on the 13th, a Saturday against Pembroke. And then I want to make note of October 20th. 7:30 your start time that day. That will be a doubleheader. It won't both be against Aiken, but the men will be playing before the women that day. October 20th, that's the upcoming 6 matches for the Lady Hurricanes. Why do I highlight October 20th? That'll be in the commercials category there. It's that it's back and bigger than ever. Might as well get our plug in for the ever-popular Canes Cornhole Championship. And it'll be taking place just on the other side of the bleachers on your screen. Well, when we come back to live action. The Canes Cornhole Championship, October 20th. It's a doubles competition, doubles tournament, $75 gift card to each member of the winning doubles team, and $25 to each member of the second place team. We'll have a bunch of cornhole sets up again just on the other side of those trees where the bleacher, you'll see the bleachers on your screen on the far side of the field, and just on the other side of those Leland cypress there'll be we set up a bunch of cornhole courts, and we're good to go if that's what I think that's what they're called. But it's the 3rd annual Canes Cornhole Championship, 2nd year in a row that we've made it a doubles competition, but we are limited. We don't have all day to play this thing, so we are limited to the first 20 teams. So if you are a parent, it's also a parents' weekend for Georgia Southwestern here that particular weekend. So if you're going to be in town anyway, man, play with your kid. Get out there and throw the beanbag around, or play with. We'll set you up with somebody if you want. But the action will start at 4. The men's soccer match starts at 5, and then again the women play at 7:30 that evening. So we'll have some cornhole to pepper in, and hopefully we'll be done just about the middle of the women's match. It seems to be when those tournaments typically kind of wrap up. Double elimination, so you get your money's worth. Your money's worth. You don't have to pay anything. It's free. It's free. We do ask that one member of the team, however, be either a GSW faculty member, a GSW staff member, or a GSW student. Heck, we'll even take a GSW alum. So just some ties to the university. But get yourself a doubles team together. The the sign-up form is real short and simple, and you can find it on our website at gswcanes.com. gswcanes.com. It's one of the main scrolling stories now. So you just click on it. It'll take you to the form. Boom, 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 couple quick pieces of information, and then you're set to go, and you've reserved your spot. Again, limited to 20 teams. It'll be fun. We'll provide you with drinks. We'll be grilling out that day, so you'll have plenty of free food to enjoy. So it's all free. Free tournament, free drinks, free food, free soccer. No admission that day to get in. I mean, can't beat that. Can't beat that at all. So join us. Come on down. Obviously, our friends from Francis Marion will have to pass, but we'll keep you in our spirits as we throw the beanbags around that day. But again, that's coming up on October 20th. That's kind of our big final promotional push to go with one of our in association with one of our soccer events. And then boom, we got two more days after that, 2 more home dates, including a senior night. And then from there, you're on to winter sports and men's and women's GSW basketball. So just before you blink of an eye, and another season will be in the books. But so we are going to step aside. I think I can figure out a little something. Usually we got all our slides pre-made for you, but I think I could figure out a little something that'll have something on the screen that can indicate at least that we are under a lightning delay if you're just tuned in. Hard to say what I never set my timer, but those at home will know how long I've been yapping for. But we'll be back. We're going to step aside. We're going to mute this just so we don't, there's nobody here as far as to play any music anyway, but just to make sure we don't upset our friends at YouTube, we'll mute the microphone. We'll leave the screen on, and when you start to see a little commotion and you hear me back on the microphone, we'll know we're getting a little bit closer to play resuming here from Hurricane Field. Again, we're under a lightning delay, probably about 10 to 15 minutes in already, maybe 10 minutes into it, so hopefully about another 20 minutes, and we'll be back playing again with 8:17 remaining in the first half. Francis Marion leads 2-1. We'll catch up with you here as play when we get back to action. You're watching Georgia Southwestern State University Women's Soccer on the Surge Sports Network. Well, folks, thanks for hanging in there with us. The break is over. All clear for the moment, but there's some gray clouds behind us circling the pitch here tonight, so hopefully things will stay outside of our area, and we can get this one in as there's just under 8 minutes now to go in the first half. Play is resumed, and thanks for coming back to catch a little more of the action from this one. 2-1 again is the score when play resumed. Francis Marion scored the first 2 goals of tonight's matchup, and GSW got a goal from Ella Hawkins to cut the lead in half, now trailing by a goal. Lights are on at Hurricane Field. Many of the folks have come back. So I'm sure both teams had a chance to talk about some adjustments. I've been told that halftime will only be 5 minutes long, so we'll only have the old mute button click for about 5 minutes. Here's Francis Marion on the attack. Here's the shot. They're going to run out of real estate, and it'll be a goal kick for the Lady Hurricanes. I could tell from our Twitter feed and some of the folks that we follow, we're not alone when it came to lightning delays around the same time. Saw some Fort Valley State football delay, as well as I think I saw North Georgia under a delay. So there was we're not alone here in this one with a little bit of a extended time to get through. 5.5 to go until the break. Here comes another corner kick. This one a nice ball in. Header up over the crossbar. Just curls over the crossbar, and a break for the Lady Hurricanes as they dodge a bullet on that one. That was a nice service in from the far corner. Kick to the, that one up over the top. 4.5 to go. Just trying to get we hadn't even got the tweet out that we had resumed, so I want to let everybody know that was looking at that modem platform for an update. This is a low line drive kick. Francis Marion flicks it back. Marion will have to run out and scoop it up. Francis Marion with the FMU, a player on the attack there. Good decision by Marion to come up and get that one. Back to the top of the 18. A couple of blue jerseys there. Backs to the goal. They'll have to feed it out. Here comes the next entry pass. Kicked away by the Lady Hurricanes. Another corner kick for the Patriots. This one bounces to the top of the 18. Bodies everywhere. We'll get it cleared out. Now to the right side. FMU back inside the corner of the 18. Here she moves in, dribble in, cross pass, gets past Marion and bounces into the goal. Man, 2 minutes and 27 seconds on the match clock, and Francis Marion has extended their lead now for the second time in the match. They lead by 2 goals, 3-1 the score. Boy, that ball bounced around and eventually got tapped or deflected in. Play resumes. Again, a shortened halftime break due to the delay. 5 minutes will be on the clock, so they'll be slicing that break. And player down. Play resumed. Continues. Hard tumble, but she's back up. This kick comes up a little bit shorter than most of them that come off the boot of Marion, but GSW is able to gain possession for a moment. Ahmed out to, I think that was Rugel, deflected. Quick taps for Francis Marion, getting it back. Regroup, they'll come near side. That one past the intended target throw-in coming for the Lady Hurricanes. One minute remaining in the half. 1 minute. Quick throw-in down the line. Stays. That's, ooh, man, I think they missed that one. The throw hit the player in the back while she was out of bounds. But Francis Marion picks it up and puts it in play. Half a minute to go. Here's the kick inside. Follow up, shot. Bounces to Marion. Final countdown coming up for the seconds in this half. 10 seconds, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. One half in the books, ladies and gentlemen. Francis Marion, the visitors, with a 3-1 edge in this one. A late score in the first half after play resumed following the lightning delay has given the Patriots again their second 2-goal advantage of the evening. 5 minutes condensed halftime here. We are going to mute it for just a moment because we'll put a little bit of music on. No halftime promos tonight. Not enough time. 4:50 the time on the clock. You might as well leave it here, but if not, just know that you can come on back in 4 minutes and 40 seconds, and these two teams will be doing battle in half number 2. Thanks for tuning in to the first 45 minutes extended. You're watching Georgia Southwestern State University Women's Soccer on the Surge Sports Network. And ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you still got your speakers on. Obviously, by the looks of the sky there and the rain pouring down, things haven't gotten any better. In fact, they've gotten worse at Hurricane Field. Lightning has moved into thunderstorms, and there's some heavy stuff coming. We are kind of in an unprotected location up here with between the water and the electricity, all of our electrical equipment. It's best we go off the air. If things clear out and this match is eventually concluded, we will try to bring everything back out and hook it up. But we need to get to safety and get this equipment to a dry place. So follow Twitter for updates. But we are going to conclude this broadcast. And if we do go live, the best thing you could do is subscribe to the channel. That way you get an alert. Click the alert button, and that way when we go live, if we go live with this one, you'll be notified on your phone, email, however you choose. But you'll get that notification that we've gone back on the air and wrap it up. So that'll do it for now. More lightning in the area, so you can tack on another 30 minutes. We just had another lightning flash across the sky, so it's going to be at least 30 more minutes, folks. Hang with us. We'll try to keep you updated on Twitter. GSW Athletics is how you can find us on Twitter, GSW Athletics. That'll do it. They're already cutting the cameras off on me. Stay tuned, stay dry, stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon. You've been watching Georgia Southwestern State University Women's Soccer on the Surge Sports Network.